celebratory gunfire, but somehow the streets of Qasr Ben Bashir seemed empty. And then overnight, the people of this small town near Tripoli airport realized 42 years of the Colonel were history.
We are free today. We are so happy. This is freedom. Gaddafi, die right now.
We are waiting this moment from many years ago. We are waiting this moment from many years ago. We are free now. We are free now. We are free now.
This is Libyan people. This is Libyan people.
There are people here like this old lady who will remember Libya before the revolution in 1969, and there are young children here who obviously have known nothing but the Colonel Gaddafi years until today.
Libyans call Colonel Gaddafi crazy hair, shafshufa.
Crazy hair, we're free now.
Fighting here only ended overnight. People waking up in this town near Tripoli airport, realizing 42 years of the Colonel were history. Fighters left town to bring the celebration to Tripoli airport itself, where they say the Colonel's very own luxury airport buggy lies abandoned outside. Airside, they told us this was Colonel Gaddafi's plane, as well as the wreckage of an Airbus hit in recent fighting, another one clearly damaged by incoming fire.
There are NATO jets overhead at the moment and distant sound of mortar and artillery fire. The rebels claim that they control this airport, but they're extremely jumpy, and if they do control it, it's a pretty precarious form of control right now.
So nobody's departing anywhere from an airport caught in a NATO no-fly zone for months and fighting on the ground too. Fighters here nervous off camera, on message.
With God's help, we control the airport. There's some opposition to the east, and now we're fighting with them and dealing with them.
So no more luxury buggy and personal plane for the Colonel at Tripoli airport, where these days he's just a doormat. Approaching the vast gates of Khamis base in South Tripoli. Moments later, chaos, fear, terror, as first a few, then up to 9 African men shoved into a gatehouse, arrested by anti-Gaddafi forces.
These are Gaddafi fighters.
They're terrified, sweating, praying, some are crying. They're convinced they're going to be shot. They keep whispering to us, stay here with us, stay here, please. Celebratory gunfire increases their terror.
Because we are innocent. We are innocent.
We are scared. We are scared. Listen, we're gonna stay here because whilst we're here, they're not gonna do anything to these guys. Huh? These 9 men insist they're just 9 young men from Nigeria who are trying to get through Africa to Italy for a better life.
At this point, the fighters' story that they were found with weapons seems suddenly to evaporate. They're let out.
If they see the women, it's okay. That's how we get out of this.
A decision to try and film their women nearby to prove they're not Colonel Gaddafi's mercenaries ends it all. They can cool off and go, but what if we hadn't been there? This is a bad time to be a black man in Libya. Our surprises were far from over. a fighter suddenly produced at least a dozen photo IDs dated 2009 of British men connected to this base. In Arabic, they're entitled collaborators of the 32nd Brigade, led by Khamis, one of Colonel Gaddafi's sons. One has the job description engineer, the others are blank. There's no evidence these men had any connection with recent atrocities at this base whatsoever. On that, more leads today. Channel 4 News found 3 witnesses, Ahmed Tayo, Salam Abdul, and another still too frightened to be identified. Interviewed separately, they corroborate each other.
The other guy with the other gun.
The 3 soldiers threw grenades into this shed, then sprayed the prisoners with automatic gunfire, then set the place ablaze. I counted 53 skulls in here. Few had bullet holes consistent with being individually shot in the head, thus corroborating again what the witnesses said.
If it is the scene of a potential war crime, then the ghastly things inside that shed are unlikely to be preserved in the chaos here. They want to bury these people and the dead bodies lying around here outside. But there's evidence perhaps of some prior preparation and organisation. Wagons around here, clearly capable of transporting people to this place. If you look across the courtyard the other side, earth movers and what appears to be some attempt to dig hurriedly mass graves, which were of course never filled.
We can't show any of it, but there are bodies all over this area, many with hands and feet tied prior, apparently, to execution. No doubt none of the British working here had anything to do with this kind of thing. But their presence does prove just how close Britain was, cozying up to Colonel Gaddafi, his system, his military.